Hello, welcome back. I am the Muted Goat. This is episode 32 of my Let's Play Civilization 4 Realism Invictus playthrough. We are still in a golden age, and we are researching modern era techs and barreling towards a space race victory, so let's just keep on down that path. In the meantime, we'll be building up kind of our newly acquired cities with, well, things like power plant. A lot of them don't have electricity still. We got to get this up here. We'll be keeping an eye on other civs, seeing if, I doubt any more try to attack me, but just in case, we'll be making sure when our when we get the technologies to do so, we will be upgrading our military units. And yeah, last episode we had all kinds of separatism issues, which I think we successfully tamped down. So hopefully, as time goes on, separatism becomes less and less of an issue as these cities become more Americanized. We also have Christianity spreading to the rest of our newly acquired cities, which is good. It's going to be a lot of next turn gameplay in this episode, unless of course we get a surprise attack from someone. Alright, Omaha, get the security bureau. Still need Christianity in several of these cities over here. I did pop up my culture rate to try to help with the separatism, but I don't know if that's needed anymore. We shall see. So I'm going to get science all the way up to 65. We'll see if that has any impact on separatism. I'm actually not sure. It does for sure if you have unhappiness in your city, but I don't think that was actually an issue with any of my cities. Okay, Palembang is now unhappy. So where is Palembang? Well, they are unhappy because, or they have separatism because they are unhappy. How high is the separatism? 9%, so it's not an insignificant amount. Let's go to Washington. Okay. 3 troops. Self-propelled artillery, sure. If we do get attacked, one drawback of the last episode is I scattered my troops kind of all over. So Palembang's
growth for the sake of growth.
Separatism is getting worse.
Of the cancer cell.
Okay, so they're asking us to do a welfare state. And I do not do a welfare state, mostly because of the high upkeep. So plus 25 maintenance, 25% maintenance cost from distance to the palace and from number of cities. Free market, just we have so many cities. We're going to take advantage of all the trade routes. Welfare state does help with separatism, but I think the hit to my maintenance costs would offset that. Okay. Tador is unhappy because they are unhealthy. Alright, we can help with building malls everywhere. We'll do a mall first and then designer outlet. Malls help with happiness. First nuclear test is almost done as well. Now we're almost done with that Petronius wonder too. And actually in some of my coastal cities, I'm going to build a bunch of workboats again. We probably... there's a whole bunch of oil and natural gas resources that have popped up around the coastline that we are probably being left unworked. We might as well get them if we can. Alright, that's all malls. Okay. Let's see if 5 troops is enough in Palembang. The other one was Tador. I don't know where Tador is anymore. There it is. Alright, they're building a clinic. They're at 1% separatism, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright. Not joining any wars. We will steal gold from very weak civilizations who ask us to join wars. Alright, a big peace deal was made. It seems like these are like kind of world wars, but it's mostly just basically vassals. Alright, here's the first nuclear test. We built that in Kazan. Boom. Okay. Free nuclear silo in every city. Enables nuclear attacks for all players. And Petronius. And it doesn't even tell us what Petronius does. Great. Okay. Well, I will take a look myself. Petronius provides oil, +1 hammer, and 2 commerce to offshore oil platforms, and same thing for offshore gas platforms. So an even better reason to build some workboats, so that's what I'm going to do in St. Petersburg for a few turns. And we got a great scientist. Keep building workboats. The second turn of workboats should produce like 5 or 6 of them. It's just like, yeah, see, this oil resource doesn't have a workboat working it. And it looks like we're doing all right everywhere else. Yeah, there's 6 workboats. Yeah, go ahead and do an oil refinery. Why not? Christian representative. Just see if they go anywhere. Yeah, they are heading out, so they've got places, or 2 of them had a place to go at least. Alright, we've got scientists, a whole bunch of engineers, saving that engineer for the Three Gorges Dam. And even with that, even with 4 engineers, I don't think that's enough to build that wonder. The modern wonders do take a ton of production to build. Open borders for Mansa Musa. No. Well, you give me all your gold. Wow, they gave us that much gold. Cool. Okay. Well, now we have 12,000 gold for whenever it is we get the technologies that unlock new troops. Brennus adopted democracy, which I think could cause some problems for him. He's a pretty big warmonger, and war causes a lot of war weariness. I can't believe this city is still hanging on. And for Brennus, that is. It's apparently 0% American, which doesn't make sense to me, but so I think it's going to cause, hopefully, a big separatism event for the Irish. That'd be kind of cool. This is quite the long turn. I am hoping the game didn't freeze. I'm wondering, even with Process Lasso, if this is too much for the game. Okay. So something happened. Okay, there was a big separatism event from the Armenians. The Hungarians rose from the ashes out of their conquered empire. Okay, can build that in one of my mall. We want to do a designer outlet. Okay, so that long term makes sense. Turn makes sense because they had to do the entire civil war. So I think that's, so you can see here, the Armenians lost 610 of score. And Hungary is now back at 1528. So Process Lasso is still intact as a totally viable option for playing Realism Invictus on giant maps. What a cool thing that is. Okay. Alright, about to discover transistors. Television is next.
Putting 64
Electronics
transistors
facility,
on a chip allowed people
consumer
to dream of the future.
industry,
Putting 4
and you can
million
build rock and
transistors
roll.
on a chip actually gave them the future.
Okay, let's see where we want to build all these things. Chicago, 843 turns. Omaha is 978. So we want to build rock and roll in Omaha. And we will build the health resort in Chicago. Washington, we want to build, let's see, the electronics facility and consumer industry. Let's see, Buffalo will be, we want both of those as well. We'll do it backwards though. Where's Minneapolis? Do consumer industry there. Kazan can do consumer industry. That's another one with a bunch of towns. You know, Lumajang's got a bunch of towns. Mysore has a bunch of towns, but there are no more consumer industries. Okay. For some reason, all my troops in Omaha woke up. I must have mishit a key. 2 more turns left on our golden age. Actually, this will be quicker. Houston has a troop ship. Oh, we can upgrade all these to transports. Cool. Should probably look at New York. Is there anything else we can do to upgrade our Navy? Not those, not those. Escorts we can upgrade to destroyers. And torpedo ships we can upgrade to corvettes. Okay. I'm going to send one of those transports up to this city that we acquired from the Celtics, or the Irish, I should say, and pick up these guys. Okay, our golden age is over. I'm going to drop our science down 5%. Yeah, we're still the most cultured, and by a long shot. Oh, Armenians. You're in a whole world of hurt now. Bangalore wants to join the Peruvians. I guess technically I did take Bangalore from the Inca at the time, even though it was an Indian city. And I'm trying to get... So, as this series is winding down, trying to decide what I'm going to do next. And it's either another Realism Invictus playthrough, which I've got to be honest, I've been grinding Realism Invictus for, the past month or so, and it's been fun, but I don't know if I'm ready for a whole new one. Oh, that's interesting. Alfred left the Germans to become a vassal of the Irish, and then the Germans became a vassal of the Italians. Okay, but anyways, so I was thinking I might do a Civilization 5 playthrough and pretty much call it first time playing Civ 5, because I bought it so long ago and played for like an hour and just kind of made a snap judgment that I didn't like it because it was just different from Civ 4. So I didn't really give it a fair shake at all. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a good game. There's a ton of people that love it. So maybe I will just go into Civ 5 kind of blind, because honestly, I don't remember hardly anything about it. I remember, they got rid of troop stacking. So there's no longer stacks of doom, and troops are like rarer, I guess is what you'd say. Like, which is probably, this game, especially the one I'm playing right now, got a little excessive with how many like conscripts I had to build just to keep my cities out of separatism. But so it's interesting, but I also remember like that turned me off kind of right away. I was like, you can't like stack your troops on top of each other. What's going on? I did like the hexes. I think hexes make more sense for movement. Like diagonal movement in Civ 4 is a faster way to move and doesn't make a whole lot of like, I don't know. Don't want to say it doesn't make sense, but it's just like you can move up and over, and it takes one movement point. But moving up takes one movement point, and moving over takes one movement point. So little disconnect there, but this game is 20 years old, so I can't nitpick too much. And then there's other games that I like that are, not Civ. And the channel is still in its infancy, so I do have a few people watching these, which is very cool. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect to have, hardly any views at all. And in the grand scheme of YouTube, I have hardly gotten any views, but for me, it's still a lot more than I thought. So thank you for anyone that has been watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you've gotten some entertainment out of it. If you're anything like me, when you're watching a Let's Play, I always, on my third monitor while at work, I always have something going on YouTube. And it's got to be interesting enough that I want to keep it on, but it can't be too interesting where I like just sit there and watch it. It needs to be kind of like passively interesting so that I can actually get work done. So I think a Let's Play like this is kind of perfect for that, because you don't really need to be following every single move that I'm making or anything. So there's some other games like that I like to play that I'm mulling over, but I think I have kind of decided I am going to give Civ 5 a try and go in basically blind and see how it goes. Just, kind of through osmosis, just like poking around the Civ forums, and especially, I did have some interest in getting Civ 7, which came out not too long ago. And, yeah, a lot of people did not like Civ 7, and the only thing I saw that I was just like really didn't like was the eras they have, where like in the ancient era you are one civ, and then your era has kind of like a hard cut, and then all of a sudden you have to pick a brand new civilization, and like all the troops you had placed, like if you're in the middle of any wars or anything, they just kind of stop. Like, no thank you. But I don't know, maybe it works. Can't. That is on very limited information that I'm making that judgment on Civ 7, but just kind of reading the tea leaves, it sounds like not too many people, hardcore Civ fans, liked it. And Civ 6, I know like almost nothing about Civ 6, but I know people like that better than they liked Civ 7, so seems like everyone has their favorite Civ game, and it's either 4, 5, or 6 for the most. And then for most people, there's probably still a bunch of people playing 3 and 2. I loved 3 and really loved 2. I even remember playing Civ 1 at my friend's house. His brother was much older than him, and he brought it home from college. And I remember learning what the word obsolete meant from Civ 1 when I begged my friend to build the Hanging Gardens wonder, even though it was obsolete, because he had been playing it for a while, so he kind of knew what was going on. And he finally relented, and we built Hanging Gardens in one of our cities. And then I realized that obsolete means it is obsolete, does nothing. It just looks cool. All right, the Venetian civilization has been conquered. They must have popped up. Okay, the South Chinese came back. They
becomes more important than substance.
They came out of the ashes from the Peruvian Republic. And we've got television. We need power, electric gear. And we have both of those, it looks like. So everywhere that is building research will now build a TV station. TV stations obsolete newspapers. It not entirely accurate to me. It was the internet that obsoleted newspapers, but I understand it as a game mechanic in this mod. And all these TV stations are going to add quite a bit of commerce to each of our cities, so that should be a nice boon to our economy. And anyways, next time I do play Realism Invictus, I'm definitely going to bump the difficulty up to at least Monarchy. Yeah, probably Monarchy. I'm going to just go one level up. Alright, the Peruvians had another separatism event, and the Ethiopians came out of it. Or no, that's not separatism. That is... they're no longer vassals. Rocket science. Did I put it to go all the way to spaceflight? I did. Okay. 5 more sciences until we get spaceflight. Alright, the Hungarians are even taking cities over. Good for them. Or Stephen the Saint. Yeah, no, that's the Hungarians. And yeah, when I do... yeah, I think I've decided. When I do this Civ4 playthrough, I'm obviously not going to be very good at the game. So I would appreciate anyone who is watching that kind of giving me some tips. Another massive war has broken out. Mussolini will trade hemp. No one else will trade anything for me, but I will ask for their hemp. Go for rice and potatoes. And canned food. Gosh, we have a ton of resources. I guess that makes sense. We do have an entire continent to ourselves. Looks like the Irish lost the city to the Colombians. I wouldn't mind if the Colombians knocked the Irish down a bunch of pegs. And for sure something I'm going to do before my next Realism Invictus playthrough is try to find some more copyright-free music that I can download. I'll have to like do some like kind of test uploads on YouTube to see if it passes their robots, and they allow me to have it on here, have it on YouTube without any copyright claims. In the off chance that this channel ever gets monetized, which would be way down the road. But if it does happen, I don't want all of my videos to have copyright claims on them. Kind of like the beep noises that the TV station buildings make when you build them. It's very ASMR beep sound type, pleasing to the ear. Yeah, all kinds of beeps. Interwoven with the sound of desperate screams as cities are getting... cities are being taken in these wars that are going on everywhere. Ireland had another big hit. Lost 158 points. Alright, so our science is at 65% now. Just all kinds of revolts and everything going on. It's good to see all this chaos going around the world, and nothing special happening on my continent. Okay, I'm not seeing anywhere that doesn't have Christianity anymore.
We will never be an advanced
Okay, rocket
civilization
science.
as long as rain showers can delay the launching of a space rocket.
Rocket assembly plant, plus 5% commerce. We can build advanced SAMs. I think that's an upgrade for our anti-aircraft units. Got another great engineer. Okay, where's our great scientist? Yes, I'm gonna do. I don't even. Well, I better look at the other ones, but plus 10% spaceship production in all cities is not bad. Plus 1 beaker to hospitals, laboratories, free scientist. Plus 1 hammer to laboratories, but I'm gonna do this one. Plus 30% science in Washington, and then plus 2% science in all cities. The structure of scientific revolutions. Okay. Let's see, the cities with the best production. Start building rocket assembly plants. Actually, no, we want the cities with the best commerce to do that. Okay. Well, that's going to be Washington. That is going to be Buffalo. Oops. Okay, Minneapolis. Okay, those 3. All right. Now we can run about 70% science with all those TV stations coming through and all of our other cities on research. That seems to help our gold output as well. I think I'm going to take another look at the graphs before I wrap up this episode too, just to see where we stand. Computers in 7 turns. I think that allows us to build 3 Gorges Dam. Possibly even the internet. Spaceflight is cool because it reveals the whole map to you for the rest of the game. You can just kind of see, I think, at least where all the cities are and any border changes. Alright. Here's rock and roll. I think this gives us hit songs or something like this. I definitely got to talk over this or else it's going to be copyrighted. And if it sounds weird in the background, it means it was copyrighted. Yeah, so provides 8 hit singles. Gal of Quinn. Where'd you come from? Jing Zhao Rebels? Okay. I don't know who they split off from. Another big wars popping off. Yeah, definitely no vassals. I like separatism, but I don't like it with vassals. I kind of like having like complete kills, basically, and then they can come back in a separatism event if the stronger civ stretches itself too thin. Because right now, there's just like, I don't know, there's just not that many actual civs. Most of these are just tiny little vassals. Here's another long turn. That means there could possibly be another big separatism event. Okay. Oh, the Colombians. Wow. They lost 1,400 score, and they proclaimed independence as the barbarian state. That's surprising. Devastating for the Colombians. Here's another long turn. I wonder if it's the Irish turn. Nope. That turn wasn't that long. Yeah, we're losing about 500 gold a turn now, so I'm gonna drop our science once again. But like I said last episode, having this many cities and being able to run 65% science is great. Now every long turn, I think there's going to be a big separatism event. You can see Colombia probably already took over one of those barbarian cities. We saw that with the Indonesians on our continent, where they lost a bunch of cities, or 3 or 4 cities to the barbarian state. Ah, it's the Peruvians that had the... Or no, this is Ireland. They finally had a separatism event, so the French and the Aztecs are back. Yay, Napoleon. A couple of these. Alright. I thought we'd be able to build some of those anti-aircraft things.
What do you need? Tell me what to do.
We can upgrade our GIs to mobile infantry or anti-tank infantry, but not going to do that right now. That's more of a lateral move than a pure upgrade. I like the versatility of just the regular GIs. They're an all-around good troop. I was hoping to get spaceflight this episode. I guess I can play until we get it, but all these revolutions happening are causing really long wait times between turns. There is a big one for the Irish. They lost 1,300 in score. And yeah, proclaimed as the barbarian state. So another barbarian event.
Never trust a computer you can't throw out a window.
Okay. Modern destroyer. 3 Gorges Dam is what we will be building. Has to be built on a river. How about in Lumajang? Is that a good production city? It doesn't really look like it. Kazan is, though, right? Alright, yeah, let's do it in Kazan. I'll do it this turn anyways, or probably one turn anyways with five great engineers. I'm just happy to see the Irish get cut down to size. I just didn't like them. I think they were the only civ the entire game that declared war on us. Both those civs have the same song, and we got another great engineer. Let's send him down to Kazan. Alright, let's just do one at a time.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Only doing 6 turns each.
At your service. Tell me what to do.
Three Gorges Dam next turn. Kind of a lot going on globally, but that's fine. They can have all the chaos and wars and everything they want over there. Alright, here's the Three Gorges Dam. Watch this video. Provides electricity for all cities on this continent. Do research. I just want to verify that, like, Detroit no longer has. Yep, so they don't have any unhealthiness from their coal plant anymore. And previously they had 4 unhealthiness. So, and we just saw the Christian missionary in Washington. So that means we have Christianity in all of our cities. I just want to verify that spaceflight's still 3 technologies away. Alright, so I don't think we will get to spaceflight in this episode. Screw it. Let's just do it. This episode will run long. Just can't do it with these turns taking so long. Sure. Bananas for tunas. Haven't heard from the Greeks in a while. It's nice to steal money from them again. Another war.
It will free man from the remaining chains, the chains of gravity, which still tie him to this planet.
Reporting for duty.
It will open to him the gates of heaven.
We're going to upgrade our fighters. And let's see, our bombers as well. Do not have enough gold for that. I'll play till about 10:30 my time. I'll make this episode hour and 15 minutes or so. I don't know if we'll be able to get to spaceflight at that time. I'd just like to be able to see the entire map. You can see on the mini map, like all the white dots are cities, and there's a bunch of area where you can't see the cities. All of our fighter pilots like to grunt. All right. Jet bombers are in. We had these tactical bombers, yeah. What can I upgrade them to? Tactical jet bombers, sure. I need to check and see if we're still having research penalties for being ahead of time. And another great engineer. Send you to Washington. Yep, we're still 50% more expensive from being ahead of time. Once that penalty goes away, we'll start cruising through these modern era technologies. Peruvians. I can bump that up. Science up to 70%. We'll take Spain's measly 40 gold. Here comes another war. It's the Colombians. Look at how far down the Colombian. Man, they were the second best civ. And now they are so far at the bottom. And my army is 22 times stronger than theirs. Alright, supersonic flight is ours. Ten turns to spaceflight. We can do that this episode.
Eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines.
Ready for action.
We need 12,000 to upgrade our fighters.
All present and accounted for.
And what about these bombers? Long-range bombers, 1,700 each, so we need 47,000. I will not be doing that this episode. Okay. I can say with high confidence we have the best air force out of anyone in the world. Let's see, looking at this, the Italians are the next best military to ours, and we're 50% stronger than them. Yeah, let's bump this up. Let's get space flight in 7 turns. With some luck, we will get the space race victory next episode, but I'm guessing it's going to bleed into the following episode just with how long it's taking between turns. Which is fine. I'm happy to be playing this giant map. I could have this series drag on forever and try to, you know, cause a bunch of wars, but we would for sure have a separatism event doing something like that. So that is one good thing about that mechanic, is it kind of prevents you from trying for a conquest or domination victory. So even just the thought of it and how many conscripts I'd need to have in each city, it's just like, no. Not worth it. Now when we do get spaceflight, I think how long it's going to take to actually reveal the whole map might be a solid minute or two. Because just trading a map with a new civ takes, or another civ, takes a while. Alright, the free Mexican civilization has been conquered. Alright, Palembang's getting a great scientist possibly next turn as well. It'd be nice to get that so we can do the one that gives us a plus 10% spaceship production. That'll speed things up by about 10% once we start building these spaceship parts. Alright,
The Earth is
spaceflight.
the cradle of humanity, but mankind cannot stay in the
Or
cradle
maybe
forever.
it's satellites you need. You need satellites to reveal the world map. Ugh. I'm going to go globalization just so I can build the United Nations so someone else doesn't build it. I think that's vanilla Civ that spaceflight reveals the map. Oh, that's annoying. All right. And I also said I was going to look at the graphs, but we'll do that next episode. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.